The Consumer Electronics Show, or CES for short, is one of the most anticipated tech events in the world. Held annually in Las Vegas, it's where top manufacturers and innovators gather to showcase their latest creations. But this year's 2026 edition was different, a surprise that left many attendees and industry insiders stunned. As I walked through the crowded halls of the convention center, I couldn't help but feel a sense of excitement. The usual suspects were all there: Samsung with its new foldable smartphone, Sony unveiling its latest gaming console, and Amazon demoing its latest Alexa-powered smart home devices. But amidst all the familiar faces, one thing stood out: the sheer number of AI-powered exhibits. From AI-driven virtual assistants to self-learning home robots, it seemed like every manufacturer had jumped on the artificial intelligence bandwagon. And for good reason. A recent report by Gartner predicted that 75% of new devices would be powered by AI by 2027. But what struck me as I navigated through the sea of booths was the lack of concrete solutions to address one major concern: AI overload. As AI becomes increasingly ubiquitous, we're at risk of being overwhelmed by an avalanche of data and automated decisions. A study published in Nature warned that our brains are not equipped to handle the sheer volume of information generated by AI systems. And yet, I saw no clear plans from manufacturers or regulators to mitigate this risk. In fact, some exhibitors seemed more focused on generating buzz than addressing the very real concerns surrounding AI's limitations. I stumbled upon a booth featuring a smart home system that could learn and adapt to its users' habits in real time. Sounds impressive, right? But as I watched, I noticed that it took only a few minutes for the system to become overwhelmed by an unexpected power outage. The once efficient AI had now become a hindrance, causing more problems than solutions. This was not just a minor glitch, it highlighted a much deeper issue: are we truly prepared for the consequences of widespread AI adoption? CES 2026 had all the makings of a groundbreaking event. Thousands of industry professionals gathered in Las Vegas, eager to catch a glimpse of the future. The show floor was abuzz with activity as companies like Samsung, LG, and Sony showcased their latest innovations. Among them were some truly remarkable advancements in artificial intelligence. One of the most talked about exhibits was from Meta, where they unveiled their new AI-powered smart home system, dubbed Echo. This cutting-edge technology promised to revolutionize household management by integrating AI-driven cleaning robots, automated cooking assistants, and even personalized climate control. The demonstrations were impressive, with Echo effortlessly optimizing energy consumption and adapting to individual family members' preferences. However, amidst the excitement, a sense of unease began to creep in among some attendees. As they delved deeper into the exhibit, questions started surfacing about the true implications of such widespread AI adoption. How would these systems interact with one another? Someone asked. What happens when every household has its own autonomous decision-maker? These concerns were further compounded by announcements from other major players in the industry. Google revealed a new line of AI-driven personal assistants, while Amazon showcased an AI-powered home security system that could potentially integrate with their existing Echo smart speakers. With so many interconnected systems on the horizon, it became increasingly clear that we're rapidly hurtling towards an era of unprecedented artificial intelligence overload. As I walked through the crowded aisles, I couldn't help but wonder: are we truly prepared for this new reality? The sheer complexity and interconnectivity of these emerging technologies poses a daunting challenge to our existing infrastructure and societal structures. As we continued to explore the vast expanse of the Las Vegas Convention Center, it became increasingly apparent that a seismic shift was underway. The year was 2026, and AI had reached an unprecedented level of sophistication. At the center of the maelstrom was NVIDIA, the tech giant that had pioneered many of the advancements in artificial intelligence. Their booth was abuzz with excitement as attendees marveled at the sheer scale of their latest innovations. But what caught my attention was a peculiar trend: every single AI-powered device on display seemed to be struggling for processing power. I spoke to several industry insiders who revealed that NVIDIA had been forced to implement a radical new architecture, dubbed hybrid core, in response to an unanticipated problem. It turned out that the exponential growth of connected devices had created an unprecedented burden on global networks. The sheer volume of data generated by these devices was overwhelming even the most advanced servers and processing units. As a result, AI development had slowed to a crawl. I asked NVIDIA CEO, Jensen Huang, about the implications of this trend. He candidly admitted that his team had underestimated the complexity of managing large-scale AI deployments. According to Huang, the company's sales for 2025 had skyrocketed, driven largely by the adoption of their cutting-edge AI chips. However, as device manufacturers began integrating these chips into an ever-increasing number of applications, the cumulative effect was a significant drain on resources. To put this into perspective, a recent study published in the Journal of Network Computing revealed that the average home network is now supporting over 250 connected devices per household, a staggering increase from just 5 years prior. As I walked through the crowded aisles, it became clear that this trend wasn't limited to NVIDIA alone. Other major players like AMD and Intel were also scrambling to address the issue. The once ubiquitous notion of limitless processing power was giving way to a harsh new reality. Our infrastructure simply couldn't keep pace with the unbridled growth of AI. As we delve deeper into the revelations at CES 2026, it becomes clear that the exponential growth of artificial intelligence is taking a toll on our daily lives. With an estimated 80% of smart devices in use today being AI-powered, many of us are accustomed to relying on voice assistants and automated systems to manage our homes, cars, and even medical care. However, this convenience comes at a price. Experts warn that we're rapidly approaching the point of diminishing returns, where the benefits of AI start to outweigh its drawbacks. Take, for instance, the rise of AI-driven home security systems, which have become increasingly sophisticated in recent years. According to data from Gartner, by 2027, over 50% of households will rely on AI-powered surveillance and monitoring. But as we continue down this path, we're neglecting a crucial aspect: our ability to adapt to the sheer volume of information being generated by these systems. It's estimated that by 2030, we'll be generating over 3 zettabytes of data annually, an overwhelming majority of which will be AI-driven. This raises pressing concerns about our capacity for decision-making in an increasingly complex digital landscape. Dr. Rachel Kim, a leading researcher on AI overload, argues that our brains are not equipped to handle the intensity and speed of AI-generated information. We're essentially drowning in a sea of data, she explains. As we rely more heavily on AI to manage our lives, we're slowly surrendering control over our own decision-making processes. As I walked through the aisles of CES 2026, it was clear that artificial intelligence was the dominant theme. Every major player had a presence, showcasing their latest AI-powered innovations. But what struck me as odd was the complete lack of concern about the potential consequences of widespread AI adoption. I stopped by the NVIDIA booth to check out their new AI-accelerated graphics cards, and the demo was impressive, but not surprising. What caught my attention, however, was a comment from one of the engineers who mentioned that the system had automatically optimized its performance 300 times per second. I asked him how they ensured it didn't become overwhelmed with requests, and he simply shrugged, saying, "We're working on ways to handle that." That's when it hit me: we're not just talking about AI being more efficient or faster, we're talking about a fundamental shift in how our systems are designed. We're giving up control, essentially allowing the machines to make decisions for us without much oversight. I saw this theme repeated at various booths, from smart home devices that could learn and adapt on their own to autonomous vehicles that relied heavily on AI-powered decision-making. Everywhere I looked, it seemed like we were accelerating towards a future where humans are no longer in the driver's seat. Dr. Rachel Kim, a renowned expert in AI ethics, had a panel discussion later that day. She expressed her concerns about the lack of regulation and oversight when it comes to these emerging technologies. "We're racing forward without a clear understanding of what the consequences will be," she said. I couldn't help but feel that we were sleepwalking into a future where AI overload is not just possible, but inevitable. As we wrap up our coverage of CES 2026, it's clear that the event marked a turning point in the tech industry. The sheer number of AI-powered devices on display was staggering. Over 200 exhibitors showcased products utilizing artificial intelligence, from smart home assistants to self-driving cars. But beneath the hype and excitement, a more unsettling reality emerged. We spoke with several top manufacturers, including Samsung and Google, who revealed that they're struggling to keep up with the demand for AI development talent. "It's not just about hiring more developers," said a spokesperson for Samsung. We need people who understand the nuances of human-AI interaction,